And we're back, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. Some new purchases I made and games that I will be playing and probably reviewing down the line. And I just wanted to share these with you and talk about some of my reasons for picking them up. So let's start with the first one. KillZone Shadowfall. I think it's the fourth installment of the KillZone series of games made by Guerrilla before they moved on to Horizons Zero Dawn. I love the KillZone games. Not especially because of the first-person shooting, but the fairly unique sci-fi setting. It takes elements of various games and historical events and whatnot, and it sort of creates its own lore, its own, setting, and I do enjoy that. I quite like that. All right, so I picked this up fairly cheap. I mean, it's been out for quite some time, and I don't think there is another Killzone game after this one for PlayStation 5. We've seen almost for every console, we've seen a Killzone game on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. But that's pretty much it. So I guess Guerrilla Games moved kind of on to the Horizons. Horizons games. But anyway, still really like Killzone. Next up, Elden Ring. Of course, I was bound to pick this up down the line, and I did. I got it fairly cheap. It's a bit damaged, the case, so I guess that's the reason why I got it fairly cheap. It's one of those games that I need to play on the big screen, the big television that I have. So kick back and just sort of immerse yourself into that unique world. As you might know, I have already played all the Souls games. I'm a great fan of those games, so really looking forward to dive into this. I know this has been out for ages now, but it's a fairly expensive game. It doesn't really get discounted quite often, but this one for PlayStation 5 I picked up fairly cheap. All right, and sort of the crown jewel of my purchases is Cyberpunk. This is the Ultimate Edition because it includes the Phantom Liberty DLC that came out not too long ago. And yes, this is another one of those games that don't really get discounted a lot. I mean, sure, the base game, Cyberpunk, but not the DLC for it that was very well received by a lot of people. Again, a game that I prefer to play on the big screen television, kick back and again immerse myself into the world of Cyberpunk. This is one of those rare success stories where a game comes out in a terrible state, but the developer sort of redeems itself and keeps updating the game, adding stuff to it, and I think it's now version 2.1 or something, and it seems that all the problems have been ironed out by now, and I've held off playing the game because of its terrible state when it came out. I already own it for GOG, but not the Phantom Liberty, and when I saw this one online. It was an Amazon warehouse deal or something like that. I'm not sure what that means, but it was like $28. I couldn't pass that on, really. I couldn't let that go. I think that's a very good price. It's actually the French version of the game. As you can see, it's in French, but I just put it in the console and it sort of installed it, and I get English text and English voices. So it doesn't really matter what version I think you'll get. The game sort of updates and has all the language options necessary. So it came very cheap, $28 for a game like this that includes the one and only Phantom Liberty DLC. I mean, that's a steal. So yeah, those are the purchases. And I'm primarily a PC player, but at times I pick up PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 games, as you can tell, and play those. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching so far. And see you in the next one.